and gals, never here from Drakewing Gaming, and 70 Mile on Twitter, the Gaming Drag. Today I'm coming back at you with Let's Play episode of Tennis Ace, June's Path. So y'all, this video should be going up on the day that I'm coming back from the con, I believe on the 11th, so y'all will have at least a video for each day that I'm, well, not each day that I'm there, for most of the days that I'm there, but anyway, y'all, alarm chain, you were up, and let's go! Alright, now? You don't need to worry so much. Don't be silly, dear. This is all I'm doing. I'm not working this week, remember? You're not gonna work, you mean. You're most definitely still working. Just with the added burden of having to look after me as well. Can you hand me a hand towel? Here you go. I have to admit, I do feel much better after washing my face. It must be a lot more comfortable now that you're allowed to switch to your summer uniform, right? You have no idea. I don't know. I still remember what it was like pretty well. You do know what my old school's blazers looked like, right? Oh, right. You guys used that heavy-looking white blazer from Dad's school picture, didn't you? That thing was heavy, all right. And we didn't have fancy air conditioning back then to help with it either. Our classroom had a ceiling fan that was so slow it barely even moved. That's what happens when you're born in the prehistoric age. Prehistoric age, huh? I'm joking. Please don't be mad. Just sit down and wait for breakfast to be ready. Yeah, don't piss your mom off, man. She gonna fucking grab your ear and snap that thing. Yes, ma'am. Doing as I'm told, but not exactly, I go back to the living room, sitting on the couch by the spot where I'd left my school bag and rummaging inside it to make sure I have everything I'll need for today. It feels weird to be going to school without my tennis bag. Wrong, even. I wonder if I'll ever get used to that feeling. What are you even doing? Making sure I have everything I'll need for today. You've been here since the early hours of the morning. Haven't you done that already before? Maybe. Sweetie, I love you, but you have to learn how to relax. That's easier said than done. I never said it would be easy. How can you even say that to me when you yourself are basically incapable of just sitting around and relaxing without going off to do more work? Well, I've never claimed to be particularly good at it either. Maybe you get that from me. Is that so? Don't be smug. It was your father's least attractive quality, and it doesn't look so good on you either. It might be, but if it's the least attractive quality, then it's still somewhat attractive, and it's also still a quality. Stop arguing semantics and come sit down. By the table this time. In a minute, I just need to finish this. What is it that you're doing now? Readjusting the strap on my bag. I can't walk 100% upright with crutches, so I don't want to go down too much and end up hitting my knee. That bag isn't capable of reaching your knee, sweetie. Maybe, maybe not. I'd rather not find out. By the way, I did schedule for a taxi to come pick you up and drop you at the school, but do you need me to also call them again and ask if they have a driver that could help you walk to the building and to your classroom? Mom, they're taxi drivers, not personal assistants. It depends on which service you're using. True, I'm merely afraid that walking from the entrance to your classroom might be a bit much. It's a little far and there are multiple flights of stairs on the way. Yuuichi and Saya offered to wait for me by the front gate to help. I'll be fine. Oh, that's good. I'm so glad you have such good friends. So am I. Even if I've been a bit of a dick to them lately, which I'd rather not think about right now. At least with Yuuichi there, I won't have to worry. He could carry me to my classroom bride style if I wanted to. Didn't you say you wanted to invite as little attention as possible? I said he could, not that he should. Yes, I'm familiar with that concept. Now come on. Your brother should be coming downstairs for breakfast any minute now. Can you please come sit at the table already? Okay, stop fussing so much. I swear, I'd forgot what it's like to be home all the time. I can't help myself from fussing. I think that's called being a mother. I might complain about it as a joke, but I don't really mind. I kind of missed it, to be honest. Once I'm done with all my adjustments, making sure each and every little thing is ready for me to head to school, I sit at the table. I have to stop myself from trying to set the table on my own, a force of habit kicking in, I guess. Mom insists on doing that for me, which I get. I guess being cared for like this went from completely infuriating to just mildly awkward. Progress? Morning! Morning again. Hey, did you even sleep at all? Don't worry, he was passed out on the sofa when I came downstairs. Ha! Called it! Excuse you! What? I'm just happy you got some sleep. With breakfast finally ready, the three of us sat down to eat together. It's clear to me that Aki is a lot more energetic with Mom around. I guess no matter how mature he is, a kid is still going to miss his mom. Still, there was something about it that felt, different. For the first time since the accident, the three of us could sit down and have a meal together without ending up talking about it. Maybe, just maybe, This is what healing feels like. After breakfast. Man, I definitely underestimated how stressful it would be to come back to school. The closer we got to it, the more that annoying pit in my stomach grew. I'm afraid of what will happen when people see me like this. I'm afraid of the staring, the whispering, the rumors. And all this after I acted all tough and told myself how I didn't care about it. I really am a wimp. Well, not like there's anything I can do to that now that the taxi already left. There you are! I hear them before I see them. As soon as Saya's high-pitched voice cuts the cacophony of students talking to each other on their way to class, my stomach already sinks a little bit further. So much for not drawing attention to myself. Morning. Sorry I'm late. Don't worry about it. You have the best possible reason to be late. I think I'd call it the worst possible reason, but sure. Oh, right. You walked into that one, Sho-chan. Shut up. Still, thanks again for offering to help. Of course, it's the least we could do. How do you want to do this? Want to just hop on my back and have me carry you up the stairs? That sounds dangerously close to the joke I made earlier this morning. Please, no. Just lend me a shoulder and we should be fine. If you say so. Come here. I can carry your bag for you. Give it here. You're not going to offer a shoulder, too? Are you kidding? With Mr. Mighty over here doing it already, there's no need for me to. You could throw Yuuichi-kun through the window and into his classroom if you wanted. I'm nowhere near that strong. Don't exaggerate. Could we get going already? People are starting to stare. Sai and Shuichi's eyes go wide, and they immediately begin looking around to confirm what I'm saying. Maybe because they're not anywhere near as worried about this as I am. But they hadn't at all been keeping an eye on their surroundings like I did. A random student walking with crutches might not invite all that much attention, but pretty much everyone in school knows about me one way or another. Not to mention those two talking so loudly about carrying me. I don't need all this attention right now. Right, of course. Come on, lean against me. Thanks, and sorry. Don't apologize. You make it sound like it's some kind of crazy burden you placed on me. Well, don't start. Sorry. Going up the stairs was, rougher than I thought it'd be. The single flight of stairs at home is pretty okay, but coming up to the third floor with double stairs every floor was a huge pain. Even Shuichi seemed to be struggling a bit to help me up. God, you're heavier than I remember. Did you put on weight or something? Of course not. I lived on hospital food for 2 weeks. If anything, I might have lost weight. Right. Good point. I don't know why you're complaining. I'm doing just fine. Shuichi and I both glare at Saya after her little joke, though she doesn't seem to care about the animosity one bit. Thankfully, there aren't all that many people around due to how early I came to school today. Other than the class president and a handful of other students, the place is pretty much deserted. Which isn't to say that the sight of a guy being pretty much carried with an arm over someone's shoulder and the other over crutches doesn't draw attention immediately. Yuichi-kun? Oh my god, what happened? Oh, hey there, Prez. The fox looks at me and then at my crutches, her eyes going back and forth at the two while her mouth hangs wide open. You're... what? I guess it's really noticeable, huh? The class jock shows up unable to walk on his own and using crutches. No one can even tell that there's something going on. Shush, I wasn't asking you. What happened? It seems her question echoed everyone else's, as the handful of students in the room are all staring at me now. Ugh, this is exactly what I didn't want to happen. About that, I kind of got into an accident. Nothing major. You got run over by a car. That's major. Shuichi, shut up! Yeah. You got run over by a car? Well, crap, now that's bound to send the rumor mill into a tizzy. Kinda? Kinda? I mean, yes, I got out of it mostly unscathed. I only needed a single surgery to... You had to have surgery? At the mention of the word, our other classmates gasped, walking closer to us and beginning to box me in with looks of pity and concern. Fuck. Minor surgery, just to fix my knee and staph. It got pretty banged up. Wait. So this whole time you've been away from school due to a stomach bug, you were actually in the hospital recovering from a car accident? Yes? Prez clutches her head in between her hands, looking down at the floor and groaning loudly. Oh my god, I've been sending homework to someone recovering from major surgery. I'm a monster! I said it wasn't major. I don't know, man. The kind of surgery you had is a pretty big deal for an athlete. Shuichi, quiet! Sorry. Don't be so hard on him, Yuichi-kun. Shochan's just trying to clarify. He's only making things worse. I mean, are you okay? That's a loaded question. Yeah, I'm doing all right. You don't need to worry so much. I'm not gonna bore you with details on my injury. My knee needed surgery. They did surgery. It's more or less fixed now. We can leave it at that. No clarifying necessary. I make sure to say the last little bit while staring directly at Shuichi and Saya, who both look away from me promptly. Hopefully that's enough to drive the message home. Why didn't you tell anyone? My family didn't want to risk it getting out while I was in the hospital. I've been left in a relative peace lately since I haven't been standing out much. Most photographers and journalists focus on Tanabe, and the ones interested in me at least have the decency to wait for a competition before approaching me. But just me missing this one competition last week was enough to have my inbox filled to the brim with sports reporters asking for comments, explanations, and making up rumors and the likes. It was? I didn't hear about this. Oh, yeah, you better believe it was. They even went as far as asking Tanabe for commentary on my absence and then emailing me to ask for my comments on what he had to say. Crap. I was hoping they wouldn't contact you about that stuff. What? You knew about this? Keiken and I may have been approached first for commentary. Since we're in the same club as you and whatnot, we just told them we had no comments on it and hoped they'd leave it at that. Goddamn nosy Nancys. They can't leave a single thing be. I'd have appreciated being told about this, you know. How was I supposed to know they'd email you about it? I don't know, basic foresight, maybe? Prez leans back, sitting on a nearby table. She crosses her arms, looking down at me with conflicted eyes and biting her lower lip. That all sounds exhausting. It is. That's why we didn't want it anywhere near my recovery, you know, for my sanity and all. Yeah, I can imagine it. There's no way it won't be getting out now that you're back in school, though. Yeah, honestly, that's the part that scared me most about coming back. I think I can at least count on being left alone for the rest of the school day today, but we won't be able to keep a pin on this much longer. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and pause it right there. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and check out our Patreon or YouTube memberships if you can. It always helps. Anyway, I love you all, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Also, y'all, pay attention to my Twitter and my Blue Sky for con pictures. Drake should be Drakewing Gaming on both. Anyway, love y'all, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye-bye!